Hi guys, welcome to a short video about the hurricane or tropical storm ETA and the past, and a little bit about predictions, GFS, HRRR, and also the radar image. So I wanted to keep this like a time document, historic document, because it's a special situation, especially for Florida, when we have a hurricane or tropical storm in mid-November. We have this here, so November 2020. Yeah, this thing started not just a couple of days ago, but actually long ago. This is insane. I mean, this is crazy that we have such a path with a hurricane. Started as a tropical storm here, then turned into Cat 1, 2, 3, 4 within a couple of hours, probably. Can't even remember. I mean, there was the election, I think, so it was around 10 days ago when it was here. And the crazy thing is, with the GFS model, you can get the GFS model 10 days for free on FlowX. I'll put down the link into the description so you can download and use it. So GFS 10 days, I think, is free. The other models are not free. I'm going to that a little bit later, but you can see that here. The crazy thing is, when it was here, it was predicting a hurricane or tropical storm here up to Florida, Tampa Bay, and it hit absolutely almost on the mile exactly. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. I mean, when a hurricane goes straight and the prediction hits, yeah, I mean, okay, that's good. That's not such a problem. But here, when we have such a track, I mean, it's one of the craziest tracks I've ever seen. And it hit so precisely. It had the whole pass here. When it went down to the tropical depression, tropical storm, picked up, crossed Cuba, crossed Key West, then got stuck here, picked up more strength, and then came towards Florida and on the left side, which put Tampa Bay on the worst side. And then went up here. So it had everything almost really precisely. So, and we were really lucky, of course, because the ocean has already cooled down a lot to about 25-26 degrees in this area. Out there it's even warmer, so that was the reason why it was picking up strength. After that it went into cooler water, and then also I think it got some wind shear, drier air, and those things. So it was picked up and speed up, and so that was really lucky, because maybe 1 or 2 months ago it has ended up in a Cat 4 or 5 hurricane with a crazy devastation here in our area. So we were really lucky. So, but let's go back a little bit to the result here. We didn't have a lot of damage. Most damage in our area was because of the floodings from the ocean. Exactly when the wind turned to the west, it was high tide, so we had a lot of flooding along the coastline. We had a lot of small and medium branches here in our driveway. Needed to pick up for a couple of hours, but not so much. What we had here, that's my weather station. You can see what's interesting. Temperature went down in the morning, then came up, and it was steady almost the whole day. You can see the pressure here in hectopascal down here. You can see that was when the center passed out in the ocean about around 6-7 o'clock in the evening. Here we had these squall lines, strong rain bands here. We had already one at noon, then one strong at 4, then one 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think the last one was around 10 o'clock or so. Not much rain here, but we had a lot of rain, almost 120 millimeters in total. The thing is, the prediction was really good regarding the wind direction. I had made a video in the morning, and my prediction, which came from the HRRR model, I was saying most of the wind or strongest wind will be between south and east, so don't park your car in the northwest of large trees or so. And it turned out it was absolutely correct. You can see when we had the strongest winds here, I think strongest was here 60 kilometers around 8 o'clock in the evening. and everything was between east and south. Most of it was south to southeast, so it was really good prediction. I'm going to show you that a little bit more soon. Also, I was predicting the heaviest impact between around 6 o'clock and midnight, which turned out was pretty close. Some of these call lines were a little bit earlier because the hurricane was picked up by heavy, strong, high winds, and that was not in the prediction, but apart from that, prediction was very accurate. What we also can see then, after it has calmed down, the wind turned to the west, and that caused a problem with the flooding, of course. Yeah, here on picture we can see the ocean temperatures here. Yeah, really warm here. We have the Gulf Stream goes into the Gulf of Mexico, then goes down and here, and so yeah, as usual, when we have in fall, we have a lot of cool or cooler water around the coast, and that has limited the impact of the storm and has decreased the strength, of course, but here the warm water was the reason why it picked up strength here. So when it crossed Cuba, yeah, of course the mountains have slowed it down, then already a little bit cooler water, more cooler water here, but it went here when it was warmer water, they picked up strength, and then here with cooler water lost strength again. But the really weird thing, it was a major like false prediction here, even when it was around here, just like 24 hours away from our area. It was predicted that the cone has shifted to the west, and it was 100% sure that it will miss us. We were out of the cone of uncertainty, so everybody was saying, yeah, we can go to school, we can go to work, there's no risk, everybody is safe. And then just overnight it picked up strength, and yeah, how it's always the case, when you pick up strength, usually it turns to the east, and so the cone was shifted to the east, and then we were in a sudden again in the cone. So that's crazy. All the major TV stations were predicting that it goes to here, but at the end it was going into this direction. But unfortunately I haven't checked GFS, but I'm pretty sure that GFS still had this. GFS was much better than most of the predictions from the TV stations during the whole pass here. During the whole time, GFS has predicting us as a target during this time when it was here. Major TV stations, they had it. Also chief meteorologists here, they had the target somewhere here or even here, and definitely not here. So I'm going to show you my old prediction here. I put it in pause. This is just manual, so it's not a really smooth animation here, but you can see that how accurate this was. This is the HRRR model, and it was predicting towards the night of the November 11th the major impact, and this is exactly how it turned out. You can see up to about or till about 10 o'clock in the evening it had this major thing. It started around this was already a little bit before, of course. Yeah, again, it speeded up the whole thing a little bit, so the impact was a little bit earlier, but they had a lot of impact even later. They had this predicted that it was generating and regenerating these cold fronts, and not just having one cold front, but having a couple of them. You can see that even closer here, so you can see that was the prediction, not only one front but a couple of them here. So I'm going to show you the real radar now, and I hope I can let this run for a little bit. You can show that more. So here's the like big picture here. You can see that's some mix of radar and old HRRR model, I think. But the main thing here is the you can see in the future there's even some more development here. You can see that. Hopefully you can see that here. Yeah, even a little bit more close. You can see this is what happened in real time. Yeah, rain started really early, and then we had during noon we had already a lot. and then also in the afternoon, and it didn't stop. It was really continuing towards the evening. Yeah, stop this here. I continue manually so you can see where it went. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to see the whole thing. I went back and forth with this animation a couple of times. You can see so what happened. The time you can always see here. So the biggest problem which happened then, another major false prediction then, yeah, this is the front at noon, and we have another one at around 4 o'clock, and this is the thing here. We can see that even in another animation. Yeah, we have the animation here a little bit more close. You can see that starting in the morning. Then yeah, the major thing here, the first major thing, yeah, apart from the one at noon which created even some tornadoes or some tornado signature, that was the one at 4 o'clock. It produced a major squall line at 4 o'clock and it passed by. And so a lot of people were thinking, yeah, that was it. When you were looking just at the radar picture, and this is also what the chief meteorologist did here on Fox 13. I think he was so busy that he forgot about watching these predictions, prediction models like HRRR or whatever he has. He was just watching at the radar image and then saying, okay, we have here major squall line, so behind there's not much, maybe this thing going in another direction, so probably we just have this dry air and that's it. And he was telling everybody on TV that that's probably it, that this was the major impact. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, after that it won't be in the same strength. But when we are going back to the thing here, when I show you 4 o'clock p.m., that was nothing here. That was really nothing. It was the wind, also wind speed. I mean, my station, of course, it hasn't picked up everything. The highest speed was shown with about 60 kilometers, but officially we had around 60 miles or so, but it was probably also this time. So you can see at around 4 o'clock there was nothing. I mean, it was a squall line, but not the major thing. It was a lot of rain, but definitely not major storm. The major storm was much later, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. That was the major storm, even a couple of hours after the center of the hurricane has passed by outside in the ocean. That's the really interesting thing here. So let's go back to the image here. So yeah, obviously he and maybe other people were thinking, yeah, that's it, but they forgot to check back to the HRRR model. The HRRR model still had a lot more coming, and this is the big mistake which probably people were doing when they are watching these radar images during the hurricane. The lifespan of these rain bands and these squall lines, they are much shorter than normal lifespan of a cold front. When you're watching cold front, yeah, you can watch the radar picture and you get usually the whole thing. You get the idea what's going to happen, when it's coming, and when we are done. So this is not the same thing here. During the hurricane, we have to keep a much bigger picture here. We have to keep an eye still on the predictions, on the models like HRRR. So at this moment, I mean, everybody's busy, everybody's looking outside, everybody's watching the radar image, but we should not forget the model data at this point, and most people obviously forget that, and even that happened to the chief meteorologist, and they were thinking, yeah, that's it. After that, not much coming, but he was totally wrong. So I'm going to play that here for you again. You can see here even major thing here, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. Building up huge thing, rebuilding. So these things during these such hurricanes, they build and die and build and die and build and die. That's crazy what's going on here during such hurricanes. And also what's going on here, of course, another problem when we have such huge squall lines, when we have the radar stations here on this side, it's hard to watch through such heavy rain bands. Usually it tends to not see a lot of things behind that. I mean, the radar stations have become a little bit better during the last couple of years, but still I think a lot of the rain or activity behind such strong fronts or squall lines are a little bit hidden. You cannot see that, and so when you think that's it here, yeah, maybe there's a lot of things hiding. Either it's hiding or it's rebuilt by the hurricane. You have to be real careful, and that's my main advice here. And my major lesson learned here from this hurricane or tropical storm, yeah, don't forget about the model data. Even when the things are really close, don't forget about these things. It's still important to watch what's coming behind. So that's it for now. I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. This is not really big science, it's just my impression, what I have learned, what I've seen so far. But I still wanted to share with you and keep these images alive for a couple of years or even decades. Let's see how long it lasts. So I hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments, just write to the comment section below. I'm always happy to talk about these things. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching and see you next time.